Hello buddy, it's Bendominator and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my opinions on the current Fortnite season's theme, as I feel like it's pretty interesting to talk about since it's probably the most unique theme we have ever seen for this game. So before I get in the video, if you guys do end up enjoying the content, be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new because I make videos like this all the time, and you can also use my supporter creator code Bendominator in the Fortnite item shop #ad. Let's go ahead and get right into the video. So yeah, like I said before, I feel like Chrome is the most unique season theme that we have seen thus far, and it's interesting for quite a few reasons, but in my personal opinion, I'm not really a huge fan of it. We have definitely gotten to the point where Fortnite's starting to run out of theme ideas, and they have to get extra creative to make each season stand out from the last. And while that's led to some really interesting season ideas like Vibin', it's also led to seasons like this, where it seems like the concept for the season is better on paper than it actually is in execution. But before I talk about the things that I don't like about the Chrome theme, let me talk about the things that I do like about the Chrome theme. First off, it allows for some really interesting gameplay changes that we've seen during the season, such as Chrome Splash, which allows you to turn into a blob and also phase through walls, which I think is really cool. It's also very fitting for Halloween time, which is why it's a huge shame that they didn't really use it to their advantage during this year's Fortnitemares. We got to see some map changes over by the reality tree related to the Chrome, but that's about it, which I think is a really big missed opportunity, especially since there was such a good tie between the Chrome and Halloween that could have been easily used to create a really strong Fortnitemares, but they just really didn't do much with it. But the last thing that I really like about the Chrome is how it introduced the floating POIs, and I say POIs, but I feel like Cloudy Condos is really the only good floating POI we currently have on the map, with Shiny Sound not being a very good one, and places like Flutterbarn being okay. But I think Cloudy Condos uses this floating idea really well. It brings me back to the flooded vibes of Chapter 2 Season 3, which I really enjoy. But honestly, Cloudy Condos is just really awesome, and I wish we got to see more stuff like it, because while Shiny Sound and Flutterbarn are cool, they don't really use the floating stuff to the best of its advantage, unlike Cloudy, which has a huge array of floating buildings and rearranged the entire POI completely. But I do like how we have little floating landmarks, like the pirate ship, that move around the map each and every update, which I think is really cool. Like, these tiny little map changes truly do add a lot. I just really wish they did more with this floating stuff, and there's still time in the season for them to do that, but I feel like at this point, we've kind of seen the most of it. So yeah, when it comes to the Chrome, I really like the new gameplay mechanics. I like the Halloween vibe with it, that sadly didn't really get used too much, and the floating stuff is really cool, even if there is some missed potential. But now here are my issues with the Chrome theme. First off, my main problem is I just don't think the Chrome looks good. Like, even if you're on high settings, the Chrome just isn't really pleasing to look at. It's pretty much just a shiny silver texture that they slapped over a bunch of areas of the map. And while I didn't really have too much of a problem with this at the beginning of the season, over time I've kind of grown a distaste for it. Now, there are some cool Chrome areas. Herald Sanctum I think is done pretty well because you have some really interesting terrain and architecture that makes the Chrome seem a little bit more interesting than normal. But for the vast majority of the areas that have been chromified, there's some interesting terrain bits, but for the most part, it's just that texture over a bunch of pre-existing stuff. And that texture in question doesn't really look that great, especially if you're playing on lower settings. But regardless, I feel like Fortnite really limited themselves when they decided to make a season based around one single look, one single aesthetic, and at that, one single texture. That's like theming an entire season around one single color, and everything they do just ends up feeling really samey. That's why I appreciate the floating stuff so much, because it's a lot more interesting to me, in my opinion, than the Chrome itself. And I think the floating areas really help elevate this theme further than it would have been without them. But I think the season's really just lacking that visual flair that a lot of other seasons often have. Fortnite's usually known for its bright colors and interesting visuals, and when you have a season that kind of strips that away, it kind of drains some of the life out of the game. I had the same issue with a lot of the IO theme stuff, especially in Chapter 3 Season 2 with the war theme. Dull color schemes and Fortnite just do not mix, in my opinion. So yeah, when it comes to the map, I really just do not enjoy the Chrome themed areas that much. And I'm also not a huge fan of the cosmetics either. I feel like this is one of the weakest battle passes we have ever seen, and it's not really due to the Chrome stuff that much because there's barely any skins that are actually focused on the Chrome. But the few Chrome related cosmetics we've actually seen haven't been that amazing either. And yeah, overall, I just do not find the Chrome that visually interesting. Conceptually, the Chrome is really cool, and I think when it comes to gameplay, the Chrome really shines. But yeah, in terms of aesthetics, I'm just really not a huge fan of the season's theme, and this is honestly the first time that I actively hope that the map changes from the season get reverted by the next. There's some areas that I would like to see stay. I've been talking about Cloudy Condos a lot, but it's because I truly think it's one of the best Chapter 3 POIs we have seen thus far. But in terms of places like the Reality Tree and Herald Sanctum, and all the chrome that has covered various POIs, I'm really just not a fan. And I liked a lot of these POIs better before they were covered in chrome. And yeah, it's strange because I often don't really complain about map changes. Usually map changes are always seen as a positive thing to me, but I'm not really a fan of when Fortnite changes POIs that really don't need changing, and all they do is just add some destruction to them or make them worse. And while not everyone is gonna see the chrome as a bad thing, in my opinion, almost every POI that's touched by the chrome is made worse. But anyway guys, that's my thoughts on this season's theme. Don't take this video as me saying that I hate this season or anything, because I think other than the theme, the season is pretty strong overall, and of course I'll be giving my full review on it closer to its end. But now I'm going to turn the conversation over to you guys. What do you guys think about the chrome theme? Is it your favorite theme? Is it your least favorite theme? What do you like about it? What do you don't like about it? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new because I make videos like this all the time, and you can also use my supporter creator code Bendominator in the Fortnite item shop #ad. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.